in there?
I think so. Welcome, everybody.
Hey.
The Danny Kadota Show is
Look at my
on
guest.
Yeah.
I like it.
You're scraping the bottom of the barrel
Hey,
today.
no. You got all the hot dope coming off the boat. Holy
man.
smokes. Unbelievable trips.
What a trip.
Right now.
Yeah, we haven't had time to
Phenomenal.
talk about it because we've been both going like crazy and running all over the place.
That's awesome. That's a good thing, though.
You know, Danny, one of those trips where you zigged when you should have zagged. Well, every zig was the right zig, and every zag was the right zag.
Don't you love that? Don't you love that?
We're talking about an 8-day trip on the Independence that I got back on not that long ago, and Danny, of course, was following it. And when I saw him here today, first thing he said was, "Wow, what a trip!" As Tony Gonzalez, the manager of
God, I
20
missed you,
Second
Tony.
Street
Where you
Landing.
been?
By the way, we're at our home
that's
base.
where he's been.
22nd Street Landing. You want to come in and say hi to everybody?
Come
you
on,
should.
Tony. Come on, Tony.
Tony,
He's the
you're
guy
the
that keeps it
man.
running and makes it go, right here.
What's up, man?
He
Good
is.
to see you.
Tony is the man.
What's up at 22nd Street Landing?
Well, we're still running some boats. We got the Monte Carlo. During the week, the kids get to go free with a paid adult.
There you are. Monte
there
Carlo
you
kids
go.
go free.
On the weekend, they're only $25. And the Native Sun's running. They're doing great. They're catching a lot of fish.
I saw that whitefish, a couple halibut here and there.
Yeah.
And the Pride just got in and had what? Some yellows, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
And he was out with Jeff Yeomans and the 540 Slinger
right.
boys. Yeah.
Yeah, they did really well. And fishing's still happening. We just need to fill some boats up.
And
Well, you know what? The kids are going to be out of school after this week.
Right. There
For
we go.
3 weeks. So kids,
So we got something for
get
you.
down here and, oh, my God.
And you said
Still
that
on.
kids are $25 on the weekends?
On the weekends,
And
yeah.
free during the week.
On the Monte Carlo.
That's
yes.
the best kept secret
Oh,
in town,
my
man.
God.
Let's not keep it a secret.
Let's not.
Okay, it's
man,
on.
There you go.
It's on, yeah.
That's
Can't
perfect.
beat that,
Well,
folks.
thanks, guys.
Hey, Tony,
All right,
good to
Tony.
see you.
Yeah.
Always good to see you. Now get up.
Let's see it.
We got to go. Show's over, everybody. Back to that 8-day trip. It was just one of those trips where, man, everything went right, Danny. It was so incredible.
Isn't it unbelievable? I think everybody's getting them. I
Yeah.
mean, right? I mean, it's just, it's not the luck of the draw. It's everybody's whacking them, and that's, man, it's just great for the industry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is.
Even Scott Bucher got a 201-pound
That,
fish.
That's
quite an
hats off to
accomplishment.
you, Scott. Yeah.
Yeah, right? I kid him all the
Yeah.
time. And
Oh yeah, but no, that's awesome. People
Yeah.
are getting their bucket list fish, and just the quality is phenomenal.
yeah.
Oh,
And I mentioned to you, and your mind was as blown as my mind, we're catching these big yellowfin, like anywhere from 30 to 70, 80 pounds.
yeah.
Bluefin over 200 in 62-degree green. I didn't mention the water was off color. It was green. And for people that are new, those are not the kind of conditions that those fish bite in, right?
No, we always ran for the purple, purple blue.
Yeah,
you know?
right?
Yeah, that's phenomenal. So there's something, the feed, whatever it is, but it's conducive, and while it's there, folks, you better get it. Go do some wintertime fishing.
Well, I mean, there's a lot. There's a trip. Who was telling me? Royal Star has a trip December 26th, and he'll be going for 4 days, and that's right in this area, 270, 300 miles
And
south.
let me tell you what, for us Buddha heads, you're going to want that sashimi for New Year's.
Oh, there you
So
go.
there you go. Guys, think about that. Get on one of these trips while you can, because, it's coming up. Shogatsu, which is the New Year, Japanese New Year. Yeah, plenty of sashimi going around.
No,
So
I'm telling you,
you
man.
can supply everybody.
And
You'll be the hero.
We've got a couple of rockfish trips up on the Island Spirit, December 20th and 27th. And believe me, you're reading my mind. I had that in my head that,
Absolutely.
hey, fish tacos or make a
Oh,
ceviche
yeah.
or
Yeah, you can't
poke
go
or, sashimi with rockfish is fine
Just
too.
phenomenal.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
like you say, the holidays is the time to do it. There's even, other cultures. My mom was nuts about herring and sour cream. Had to eat herring and sour. It was a German
I've
thing, I
eaten
think.
that. I've had that. I love it.
It's really good.
And
isn't
pickled
it?
herring, too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's excellent.
It's really good.
Yeah,
huh?
it's delicious.
Got that my dad used to
My
eat-
dad, well, that's what it is. My
Yeah.
dad's the one that got me eating it.
Don't tell
when
me
I was
your
a kid.
dad ate pig's feet, too.
No, he didn't. That's
My
one thing
dad
I
was
didn't
nuts
say.
about pickled.
No
Did you,
kidding.
Dan? Oh, Dan did, too. He
Yeah,
had,
yeah,
I must
no, I
have
didn't see
been
that.
7 years old, gnawing on a pig's foot, watching a football game with my dad. So when I went to China and they handed me a chicken paw or claw or whatever it is, no
Piece
big
of cake,
deal.
huh?
Yeah, give it to me. I'm used to this already. My dad was nuts.
That's unreal. That's unreal.
How's the holiday season going for you so far?
Good, good. You know, I mean, it's been a very mild winter, so I mean, that's another reason for you guys to go out and fish. You know, and yeah, it's been really nice. The weather's been nice. Think about that.
You-
Yeah.
You were just mentioning that it's time for you to get the kids, your grandkids, out to some of the local
It's
lakes.
that time.
And you
to
mentioned
take 'em
Lake
trout
Irvine.
fishing. Well, Lake Irvine has a deal. It was, I hope it's the same. It was $5 a car, folks. You load your car up with the grandkids and kids and go over there and you walk in, you park, you walk in. You abide by the limits, which I think is still like 5 fish, which is more than, I'm not a big trout eater, so, catching and releasing a few, but letting the kids get them, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, and
know.
we talked
It's
about
just-
it, but now is more important than ever to get kids out.
Oh, absolutely.
Like this one, Michael
Yeah,
Limon.
yeah. It's easy access, easy fishing, it's safe, so it's a great place to start kids off. I would tell you a 2-pound line, fish 2 pound. I don't know if they're putting any big fish, but if you're careful, you can land the big fish with 2 pound.
Yeah.
But your ability to get bit, your opportunity to get bit with the 2-pound is much greater. Smaller treble hook with a power bait, or you can do a salmon egg. You bring a mix so you could try and figure it out. And that's part of any type of fishing, though, is figuring it out. That's where the gratifying part is when
Yeah.
you're dialed into it.
Those
And
are
it
the
takes you
really
a-
good
yeah,
fishermen that
yeah.
take it as a challenge.
You go down prepared.
Yeah.
It's like anything. And that relates to our type of fishing, offshore, any type of fishing. You have to do your homework, go prepared, because once you're once you're in your destination, there's no tackle shop there. So you got to go down prepared. And that's always the key to any type of fishing, especially if you want to be successful,
Yeah.
You know.
I've told this story before, but Captain Dave Dodge called me one day and he said, "Do you want to go to, I think it was Miles Square Park, you want to go trout fishing?" And I quickly responded, "Hell no. No, I don't want to do that." He goes, "Well, no, I want to just spend some time with you. It's been, okay. Yeah, I'll do that." Trout fishing. I wasn't. And so we get down there and there's a little Mexican family fishing, catching nothing. And Dave starts fishing. He's catching nothing. Now he changes his distance. Now he changes his distance again. Now he changes his bait. Now he's constant, and then all of a sudden he starts catching. Exactly what you're talking about,
That's
figuring
what it's
it
at.
out.
That's what it's about.
And before you know it, guess what he's doing? He's handing these little Mexican kids their first trout. And they're catching their first
There's
trout.
nothing more gratifying than that. We took all the grandkids and all my brothers and sisters, all the grandkids. We went up to Sarah's when we did that ceremony and tribute to my mom and dad. We were up in the Sarah's, and they loved it. So we want to probably continue this on as a family. Going up and spending time up there. My grandparents were going up there in the 1920s and 30s, and I just want to keep it perpetuating, because
Yeah, heck yeah.
how much more beautiful it is it than looking at. We took pictures of Convict Lake. I mean, it's so pristine, it's just beautiful. But then to get the kids involved in the fishing and to do it as a family, there's no money on earth that
No.
could pay for that. I mean,
No.
it's just awesome.
No. And
Yeah.
and to think that tradition, you're passing it on. It was
Absolutely.
passed to you.
Yeah,
And now you
absolutely.
feel an obligation to pass it on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Danny, we got a whole bunch of questions here. Let me
Whoa.
get to. We got people from the Channel Islands to the Philippines watching our show.
Holy
Your
smokes.
show, I should say, right now. But don't just sit there. What's wrong with you? Hit that like button, or Danny and I will break into tears if we don't
Yeah,
see a bunch
yeah.
of likes on
Oh
that.
yeah, I'm
We
real
really-
sensitive.
Yeah, and subscribe to the Freeman Adventures YouTube channel. I'll remind you that at 6 tonight, we'll be over at Island Fishing Tackle doing Tackle Shop Confession. So stay tuned after Danny's great show. Cue Ball just wants to say hi. Cue Ball, good to see you, my friend. Robert Graber made it live. Happy Monday, Phil and Danny and the Freedman Adventures family. He says, woohoo. Let's see if I can get this right. Woohoo! I think I got it. I think I
Awesome.
finally got it, Robert.
Well, I think it
Go
helped
Irish.
you coming off the boat, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the yelling and screaming.
Yeah.
I mean, you get it dialed in. I've been a little rusty. It's been a while since I've been out there.
No, we're going to have to get you out there here, man.
I could
right
do the
away.
hookups, but yeah.
Yeah, you got the loudest
Yeah.
hookup call
Oh, yeah.
in the universe.
Yeah, we'd be able to yell it over the V12s and the 871s. And
You got to make sure
yeah,
Dan
you gotta hear it.
Lightfoot with his hearing aid hears you. So
There
he
you go.
pulls him back.
There you go.
You know?
That boy, Dan, we just throw something at him. That's no big deal.
Live free, die free. Afternoon, Phil and Danny. Hello, Friedman Adventures family. Cue ball, wahoo? Question mark. Somebody getting wahoo? Laughing out loud. Yeah, there's been a little bit of that. That kind of slacked off a little bit. 67-degree water out at the rocks.
The rocks, they
Real
were
cool
picking a
for
few there.
who,
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
And I see they're getting some. The Royal Star's on Hurricane Bank right now.
wow.
I don't know what they're doing.
They bombed it, huh?
Yeah, well, they caught. I may get these scores mixed up, but I think they caught 41 bluefin. Roy Rose is running the trip.
At Hurricane.
Yeah, and then
Or
they caught those fish short.
Oh, okay. I was
and
gonna
then
say.
they went.
Yeah, okay.
Then
For
they
the
went
yellowfin,
long.
yeah.
Last time I talked to Diego, they were kind of just getting there. So
Okay.
I'll see what they're up to here pretty soon. In the boat fishing. Hey guys, I'm going on my friend's 17-foot whaler this weekend. We are trying to go to the 9 Mile Bank to do some rock fishing. Do you have a preference, upper or lower? What bay do you like to go out of? That would be down in San Diego.
Yeah.
I haven't fished that.
I have, and I
up
never
this
fished
zone.
local.
Yeah.
Other than there was a couple years we had no choice. We were catching sand bass along the beach. But yeah, I haven't. I leave that to the half day guys and guys out of Seaforth and H&M and Point Loma. Those guys, the half day guys have that pretty well locked in.
But
we spent our time offshore, so it was. But
Yeah.
no, there's a lot of great areas,
And that
you
area
just have
was
to know 'em.
closed for a long
Yeah,
time. It just
yeah.
reopened.
Yeah.
So he's saying when he looks at the fish finder, what do you look for? So you're looking for a hard bottom. You're looking for
Hard bottom.
pinnacles, right?
Look at your meter. I mean, and now with the GPS, you can get right on these things.
Yeah.
But
That Navionics,
Yeah.
that's an app on your phone, you can see the rocks on there and you can drive right up to them. And then you're going to look like for a pinnacle and then you'll see like a fuzz ball sometimes on
the
it.
fuzzball is fish.
Yeah, right? And you know
yeah.
what's weird? Tell me if you've had this experience. Out there, Tanner Cortez, when I was fishing commercially, sometimes the fuzzball would be so big and I'm like, what the hell? We're not getting bit. And then there's this little nothing. All 50 hooks are getting just bounced on.
Yeah.
I surmise probably bait in the first circumstance, and the second time it was
Underneath
all fish.
them? Yeah.
Maybe, right?
Yeah. We've seen some unbelievable. Well, in the wintertime, when we were shut down pretty much,
Yeah.
we would literally, and it was always before Christmas, and and this is when Taka was still running the Mustang, we'd go out and do commercial trips to make some Christmas money.
Yeah.
And oh my God, we fished 25 hooks and stuff like that. I had my 10-aughts and we had our big reels that we just gaff blanks. And I can remember loading every single hook on big reds.
100%.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that was our Christmas money.
Yeah.
It was fun stuff. It was
Oh
a
my
lot
God.
of fun.
Yeah,
a
you
lot
get
of fun.
maybe halfway up with winding
Oh.
that canyon up, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah. The reds didn't seem to float. We had cows and stuff and
Boccaccio.
Boccaccios, they would float, but we had a hard time getting the reds to float. They'd sit heavy the whole time.
And, a lot of
Yeah.
people say rockfish are just dead weight. Those reds put up a tussle, man, especially when you're fishing 25, 50
Yeah,
hooks.
yeah.
Now,
It was.
people are fishing 2 hooks nowadays, but back when we commercial fish,
Yeah.
we dropped set lines.
Oh
with
yeah,
100
absolutely.
hooks. Yeah.
And we had breakaways,
Yeah.
on the bottom. But
Oh,
we
yeah.
used, sash weights and stuff like that. Well, those are days long gone. You
Oh,
haven't
man,
seen
they were
that
great
stuff.
days,
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
they
The
were-
worst feeling in the world is pulling a set line or winding on a canyon and feeling you're getting sharked. I just want to kill that blue shark or whatever mako or whatever it was, man.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Something else.
Yeah.
Jeff Yeomans. Jeff, it's good to hear from you because your ears must be burning. Tony Gonzalez. This is on camera, by the way,
Oh,
so you
yeah.
can check me. We were just talking about you on board the Pride. He says, good afternoon, Phil and Danny. Just returned from a 2-day trip on the Pride last night. Fishing is still good. I saw you guys had, I think, some yellowtail, some big bonito, and plenty of rockfish. Jeff, thanks for checking in. We were just talking to Tony about that. David Betroy, his wife is in the Philippines for the holidays. They're both there. And he wanted to send his greetings along to both you and
Oh, that's awesome. Thank
David,
you.
thank you. I love the Philippines, man. I spent a month there backpacking through Palawan. It was, underdeveloped and really cool area. Had a great time. What time is it there, man? It's got to be, I don't know what time it is. I'm trying to think, because I did some teaching I don't know. David, what time is it in the
I'm all
Philippines
messed up
right now?
over
Live free, die free. Hoping to see some big boys on the 8-day Royal Polaris trip tomorrow, blowing through LA. Now, Live Free, Die Free is going to be on an 8-day trip
Oh,
on
wow.
the RP.
Well, they'll probably get them.
Yeah.
They'll probably get them. It's been good fishing.
Man, we got our
Good,
fingers
good
crossed for
fishing.
you. Really, really hoping that you're going to crank it up. Hey, what was I going to say? Darren Dohe is on the Royal Polaris right now.
With
You know
Viv,
Darren, right?
with his wife, with Viv.
Yes.
And I told Viv, please hook and hand some for Darren, would you? Please. No, but I mean that's a great thing. You know, I'm glad
Yeah.
Viv's such a trooper to go out with him. That's great.
Yeah,
that's
for
awesome.
sure.
Yeah. So I'm sure they're having a time of their
Oh,
life.
yeah, and I said to Darren, because they're having an exceptional trip, I said,
Yeah.
Darren, we got to do a podcast when you get back in. So maybe we'll save it for
Oh
your
yeah,
show.
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, have
Oh,
Darren
that
come
would be
in
awesome.
and-
Bring Viv in.
That's
You know, I kept
absolutely.
telling Viv on Facebook, hey, hook and hand one to Darren every now and then. You know, come on, Viv. You know, but no, that'd be great. That'd
And
be
Darren,
awesome.
once again, Scott Buchert, who caught that 201-pounder, wants you to know that it was the 310 Rodworks rod that he won right here on Danny and my show. He won it here from you, and he caught that giant fish on there, and he said it performed beyond admirably. It was really
That's awesome.
fantastic.
That's perfect.
I think Scott's trying to get a free rod out of Darren.
Yeah, leave it-
Did
leave
you
it to
tell-
Scott.
Did you tell Darren? Tell him again. Tell him 100 times. All right, very good. Sam De La Torre, you know that guy?
Oh yeah, Benny,
Yeah.
you're bringing in the whole gang here.
Man,
Come
Sam
on.
is like saying the barbecue is looking good. We got a barbecue going over at Island Fishing Tackle.
Oh, it
Anybody
is.
want to go by and join us? Why don't we do that here at your show next time?
That'd be an
Do
idea.
that.
That'd be
What do
a
you
good
think,
idea.
Dan? That's a good idea. Yeah. We'll have
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
that.
we'll barbecue all the perch that Mike brings up.
Yeah, I'll save the ribeye steaks for us.
yeah,
so
yeah.
the
We'll
rest
do
of-
that.
You can have the buttermouth
Yeah,
perch.
exactly. Here, you guys want authentic seafood? Here we go. We got it for you. Compliments of Michael. Yeah.
We'll be over to see Sam in just a little bit, and Tackle Shop Confessions at 6 p.m. tonight. Cue Ball, good luck on that 8-day trip. May the tuna gods be with you. Some awesome stuff, man. Live free, die free. Both Danny and I hope you have a marvelous trip. Man, you know, Joe Martinez, I don't know how you feel about this, but some guys were fishing, getting bit on 40-pound, and just, there was no chance. So even,
They're fishing 40?
yeah, the captain goes, guys,
Yeah,
stop!
I might have
Don't
said it.
fish anything less than 60. Well, Joe doesn't fish anything less than 100, and he was getting bit pretty regularly on 130, Danny. He was patient.
Yeah.
He soaked his bait a long time. What do you
Yeah.
feel about the heavy gear when you're catching that big
when you
fish?
get quality fish like that, you fish heavier. You can't. Yeah, put the 40 and 50 away. That's if it's that touchy and if it's on small, a little smaller grade, it's different. But the quality of the fish that they're catching down there now, no, you don't want to mess. You may forego a trophy fish for yourself by
Yeah.
having too light a line. You eat as heavy as they'll eat. That's what you feed them. You push the limits.
Yeah, 100%. One of the deckhands, Aaron, when a guy was on a fish for 40, literally told the guy, and I think he's true, he goes, sir, you could cut that fish off and catch 2 in the time that it's going to take you to lose that one. Michael Lemon! Let's see
Oh, is that
now they're
Spotty or
changing it
Sandy?
up.
Yeah.
Let's see, Michael,
That's
good
Sandy,
job. Look at
Michael.
this.
Man,
I'm loving
you
it.
are on a
Michael,
roll,
way to
Mike.
go.
Woo! Here's a,
Woo-hoo! We got it rolling
need
here.
the board. Put the fish count up.
Yeah, he's got
Mike's
more
got-
fish than the 3/4 day boat had out of somewhere. I'm not going to say. I'm going down a hole I don't want to go down right now. I didn't mean that. Fishing's really good on the boats right now, okay? Michael is just really killing
He's
it.
on fire.
Man, he's got like...
From his first drop.
Yeah.
Second, third, he didn't have a miss as far as I'd never look out and he'd drop it and he was on one.
I know, right?
Unbelievable.
I thought he came
I
here-
love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Grandpa, you're the best, man. That's what kept me. That's what kept
We
me
should
out
make
of
Dan
trouble.
walk out here and take a bow. No, he's camera shy. Yeah, I don't want you to hear what I was talking about you to Danny, but I was saying that damn grandpa's a good man. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
He
we don't
really
want
is.
to like get to your head too much.
Yeah, really. He paid me to say that. All right. Hey, by the way, we had a guy on our 8-day trip that looked a lot like you. Yeah. I thought he did, and then I showed him your picture, and he's like, "Oh, you sure?" And I go, "Well, kind of, right?" But yeah, this guy, I forget his name now. He roomed with Scott, the poor guy. He was in the same stateroom as Scott. Yeah, what was his name?
He paid his
he's
dues.
gonna kill me if he's watching this. Gosh darn it! I'm getting old. Forgive me. All right, more questions. It's 8:15 a.m. in the Philippines right now.
Wow.
Yesterday or today?
Time to get
That
up,
is
huh?
tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning. It is Saturday. What is
That's
today?
right,
It's
that's
not-
right.
What is Monday? It's Tuesday morning.
Tuesday.
Yeah. All right. Well, jumping a tuk-tuk for me. You know those tuk-tuks, those little kind
Yeah.
of weird cars they
Yeah,
have down
yeah.
there? So I got in one of those with like 400 other people, like 12 other people. And I go, oh, what the heck? You know, so we pull up and everybody's getting out. I go, I'll pay for everybody. You know what that was? Like $1.25. I thought it was going to be $10 or something.
Holy smokes.
I go, yeah, I'll take care of the whole, because they're really
Wow.
nice to me. There's some
Yeah,
young,
yeah.
young men that got
Oh,
out
that's
of the
so
way
cool.
and said, sit down, old man. And blah,
Oh,
blah,
that's
blah.
awesome. That
And
is
so,
awesome.
yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time there. There's a lot of good fishing there, too.
That's awesome. What type of fish?
There was like fish that I had no idea. They had these saltwater catfish. Like the first time I walked down to the beach, this guy was coming with a piece of wood over his shoulder, old fisherman, and
Yeah.
he had like 8 of these big catfish, saltwater catfish
Wow.
on there. And then, of course, they've got yellowfin tuna, dorado, and all
Yeah,
those
yeah.
tropical species down there, and just great stuff. I made a ferry trip where we got caught in, it had to be a tropical storm. I'm not saying it was a hurricane, but
Yeah.
although it almost blew the roof off the hotel
Oh, jeez.
where I was later that evening, but we got shellacked for like 3 hours, Danny.
Wow.
We just got, it was me and another guy who were not seasick the whole rest of the boat. And
Well, that would do it.
I walked out on deck just for a little bit, not out on deck because it was too dangerous, but outside. And he came out and he was smoking a cigarette and he goes, "Were you in the Navy?" And I go, "No, no." He goes, "Oh, I was." And I go, "Yeah, well, I can tell, you know, you're not heaving overboard like
Yeah,
everybody else.
yeah.
You're in a bag." So,
Wow.
hey, David, have fun there, man. Really appreciate you checking in. Jeff, checking back with us again, 540 Slingers. He was on the Pride here out of 22nd Street Lane. He said, excellent rock fishing over the weekend for us with lings to 33 pounds.
Wow.
Those are
That's some
big
nice
lings.
quality. Yeah.
Jeff, nice job. Yellows, bonito, sheephead at the banks. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, I know the weather's been pretty
That's
darn nice.
awesome.
We're going
Yeah.
into a Santa Ana that gets real flat and beautiful out there during this time of year.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
How about those Irish? Are you a Notre Dame or an SC fan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pretty much.
Did you watch
Pretty
the
much.
SC Notre Dame game?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I did not.
I did.
I did
Thank
not.
God. In fact, we watched the Army Notre Dame game on the boat. Scott wanted Army. He was dying to get Army, so he bet Brian, the captain, $100. And Brian came down and said, "Scott, it's 49-7. I think you should pay me now." And he goes, "Oh, I was only kidding." You know.
Only kidding. Oh.
Hey, Scott, you know there was a
Scott,
time
it's a
when
long
your
swim
knees
home.
would have been broken.
Scott, yeah.
So, yeah, pretty good. All right, I won't rub that in because I know we have a lot of SE fans out there. I don't want to get into that. What else? So we've got that bite going on. We still have, a little bit of yellowtail around. I was telling Dan the story, and you heard it. Guy out of Marina Del Rey yesterday drops down a piece of squid to catch a whitefish, and the yellow looks like it's over 20 pounds in the photo that I got posted this morning on
That
the
is
morning
one
briefing.
quality fish.
That's a great surprise, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That is phenomenal.
What's the weirdest way you've seen a fish caught or a yellowtail caught? Or have you seen any weird stuff before?
Let me think about
I know,
that.
I'd have to think too.
me think
you
about
know,
that.
you know you have, and I
Yeah,
have.
there's been some weird stuff that we've had on the boat.
Yeah,
over the
right?
years. I just have to pull it up in the old memory bank.
I know Pat Whitaker. This isn't a fish, but he dumped his rod overboard last year at Catalina Island, and then pulled his anchor, and it was on the anchor.
It was wrapped.
He got lucky there.
Definitely got lucky.
I've heard all kinds of stories like that before. Shoot, what else? I think there was something on this Independence trip that was weird. I'm trying to remember. I thought I remembered something weird. I mean, there was a fish that was snagged in the side. That's no big deal, but I thought there was some other weird stuff. That's always cool when something like that happens.
That's what we had to do. We had to put it to our viewers out there. Is send us some of your or call in some of your funniest stories and mishaps or
It's a good
things
idea.
like that. And that way it's accountable for you. We have it documented for you. And we could always say we pull it up and there it is.
Because
See, he
it's-
did catch it like this.
It's all about the memories, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, what's your next fishing trip? Like trout fishing?
Yeah, I'm thinking of this break coming up very shortly, taking the grandkids out and going trout fishing.
You know, that sounds like a good video to me.
Locally.
Danny Kadota takes his
That
grandkids.
would be unbelievable. Yeah, it's fun.
Will you have
and when we
like
took them up
a
to
motley
Sears,
crew
it's
like
just-
this guy and I?
Yeah, well, that's halfway in for you, right? If we go out to like Irvine or something like that, yeah.
We'll wear a disguise so the cops
Perfect.
don't pick us up. Though,
Yeah.
him and I are wanted in 4 counties. So, yeah, I would. I don't know why I'm getting the trout bug, and I've never had it ever before. The only time I had a really great trout experience was, and I think the lake was called Siskiyou or something like that up by
Up
Lake
north.
Shasta.
Yeah,
Shasta.
yeah, up north, yeah.
My brother and I, we had our families. Our kids were infants, and we were in a motorhome that we'd rented. And man, we started throwing these little Castmasters, and it was freaking instant. And it was kind of like barracuda eating the iron.
Yeah,
At
it's
least that's
iron.
what
It's
we-
iron.
yeah, right?
That's what we call it, the mini iron. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And so that right there sold us. We were like, "Oh, this is cool, man," and we just wailed on them.
Oh, that's fun stuff.
Do you like to eat trout?
No, my grandparents ate everything they caught.
Yeah.
And what I caught, but I didn't eat much. So nowadays, I just assume shake them off unless I have people that want to eat them. I'll bring some home for them. But yeah, I just assume shake them off now, and let the kids catch them.
Kids don't eat
That's
them?
where it's at.
The natural ones, you don't want to eat the stock ones.
Well, yeah, but this time of year, that's pretty much all there is. You're not going to get too many home guards.
Go to the hills,
Yeah.
like Lake Sabrina.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Dan's
Yeah.
saying he doesn't like to eat the stocked ones, but the other ones, I always found them. But I think there's an easy way to get rid of the bones. But anything with bones, I'm out. I'm
And
out.
there's a lot of
I don't want
bones in
anything to do
trout.
with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in China, people would say to me, "You don't like fish? Why? Why not like?" I go, "I don't like bones. Every damn fish here has got 500 bones in it. I'm not dealing with it."
I'm trying to just grab them by the head and just pull
Dan
the
says you just
backbone.
pull the head and the backbone comes right out.
It's never worked that well for me. There's always been like little pinballs
Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah.
where I'm eating
No,
like, and then I get
I like
it,
doing like a halibut fillet or so, or whatever you,
yeah,
and it's just
yeah,
beautiful.
it's pure meat.
There's
right?
your bones right there.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
That's for sure. What's going on with Michael, man? We haven't had a fish for 30 seconds.
I don't know.
Man,
Ah.
I'm telling you. So 22nd Street Landing continues here at our home base. They got a lot of great trips. Their number, 310-832-8304. You should call Tony right now and tell him you're watching the show and you really enjoyed his presence here a little bit earlier. Gail, how's she doing? Your wife?
She's doing good.
Yeah?
She's busy at school. They got their plays going on. And
Yeah.
They do a lot of rehearsals, so she spends a lot of time there with the kids. And, it's the production, the whole production. So they have to coordinate with the music department, this and that. So it's a lot of work, but it's tremendous. They put out excellent shows. So
I know.
my hat's off to them.
I've talked to her about that.
Yeah.
She's really
Oh
totally
yeah,
into it. That's
she loves
great.
it. She loves it.
Cue Ball says he fell in the bait tank trying to get the next one. He's talking about Michael. You may be right, Cue Ball. That kid will go to any ends to catch more fish, no doubt about that. That is
Yep.
good stuff. Trout fishing, what's the key to trout fishing? Light line?
Light line.
Is it?
It's always
4
it always
pound?
is. 2 pound, 4 pound, fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
Use all the lightest thing. I use. I even take it down to the hooks. I'll use lighter gauge hooks. They don't have to be as beefy as shank. So I like gummies because if you weigh them out, I mean it's so light, it's unbelievable. But that lightness of say a gummy as opposed to like a heavier mustad, it'll float like a power bait for the kids. Float it higher. It doesn't affect it as much, and for some reason they're sharp, super sharp hooks. So there's a lot to trout fishing. It's not as simplistic as you may think.
Is that true?
Yeah,
It's complicated?
It can be,
Yeah.
but when you get it dialed in, it's just like I would say it's like anything, Phil. Whether you're using good fluorocarbons or anything, the better the equipment you're utilizing, it all pays back. It has to do with teaming everything from the hook to the knot to the fluorocarbon I mean, even the swivels, I used to use the Spros because they were stronger and lighter. But I
Yeah.
mean, and then with sinkers, I would use tungstens when I could because it's a smaller profile. It won't hang up as much as a big lead chunk with the ears. So it's denser, but smaller. So it's less apt to hang up on things too.
Yeah.
Because the size is smaller. So there's a lot of little subtle things that make a big difference when you're fishing.
Yeah.
You know. And when they're touchier, that's when you get them, and you know, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
it's, you know, and so oftentimes, I'll always profess this, it's not as much about luck as it is your diligence to, and you know, and your tackle and your procedures with your knots, with everything. You know, it's having everything dialed in.
They like those little grubs better now for some reason.
Oh
Dan
yeah,
saying they
yeah,
like the
when
little
they're- Yeah.
grubs.
Oh yeah. So you always have all that, you know, so you can change it out and put, you know, I have usually keep a couple different rods set up, but
I used to use a Castmaster, like Phil said. Now they don't bite too good.
Dan said the Castmasters don't seem to be as effective as they used to be. Yeah, I guess you just got to keep changing, right? Yeah.
yeah, you'll figure it out. You know, once you dial it in, it's just like anything else on the boat. You know, one subtle little thing will make a difference.
Yep.
And that consistency is where it's all at. The other thing is, just like on the boats, the information we get, and we call it our dope, right?
Yeah.
That we get on the radio from the different. When you're talking to guys that fish a lot and have that understanding, and you get good information, makes all the difference in the world. All the difference. When they tell you something, you do it.
It's probably the most important thing when you come down to it,
that you're-
right?
Intel.
Yeah.
Intel is always it.
Because if you're in
It's
left
the key.
field, you're not going to catch no matter what you do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Daphne joins us and says there was enough people for the Monte Carlo yesterday, but we still didn't get to go out. I don't know what that's all about, Daphne. I think, Daphne, is this you that came down here and donated some tackle for our kids program? You might see some of the rods around here. Danny's got a ton behind him. Danny, yours truly, Dan. We got a ton of reels all going to Mexico to the children on Cedros Island. We've got thousands of pieces of clothing that we've got to send down there. Here, we're going to send it down for the Epiphany. So that also is known as Dia de Reyes, Day of the Kings in Mexico. It's around January the 6th. And for those of you who are curious, it's when the three kings found the Christ child. And that's the Epiphany and Day of the Kings, Dia de Reyes. Huge day in Mexico. Big gift-giving day down there. So we're going to be down there to do that. And Daphne says, yes, that's her. So Daphne and everybody else
Awesome.
who've helped us out. Daphne, what are you doing? Get over to Island Fishing Tackle and partake of the barbecue tonight. We'll see you over there. You can sit in on our live studio audience tonight. Dane is joining us. He says, good evening, Captain Danny and Phil. Good evening, Dane. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Cue ball smashed like a Dean on the deck. I think he's talking about that like button. He smashed it. I think that's what you're talking about. And Daphne says, glad to see lots of goodies for the kids down there. Yeah, and we're also collecting new toys, new clothing. And Doug Tilk, who just happens to be one of the kindest, most generous guys in the world, sent me a photo. He's going to be over at Island Fishing Tackle. Must have had a dozen brand new toys that he went out and bought
Oh, that's so
to
awesome.
make the
That is
kids
so
make their day. So
That's cool.
it really is a wonderful thing. I get to be the Santa Claus, but it's all these
Perfect.
guys who do all the
Yeah,
good
no,
work.
it hats off to everybody. That's awesome. That's where it's at.
Yep, it's just a beautiful thing, and I just feel blessed to be able to go down there and hand this stuff out, man.
Yeah.
It's all thanks
Yep.
to you, Danny, and all these wonderful people out here. Doug Tilk, man, here he is. Hey, Danny, wishing you and your family a great holiday season. Mini jigs and 2-pound test for trout. Tell Michael to go wipe down the Amigo. Whoa, Michael!
Score.
Hey, Doug, we got
Yeah,
Michael here for you right now.
Close to limit now, Mike, huh?
Michael Limon. Hey, Michael. Way to go, buddy. Putting it to him. We got live fish coming in here in the studio.
Doesn't get any better than you guys are getting a live fish report. Literally.
Everybody's going to start running down here
There you
pretty
go.
soon, you know? So Doug says mini jigs and 2-pound tests.
Yep, that's
Does it
light
make a
line?
difference even when you're throwing a jig to fish
Oh,
the lighter
absolutely.
line? It
Well,
does.
mini jigs are super light. They're
Yeah.
small and light.
Uh-huh.
You know, and again, having those finesse hooks and stuff. You know, having sharper and lighter hooks. Little things like that make all the difference in the world. People don't think
They're
that.
out there, that's why.
Yeah.
Doug Tilk and Dan and Michael and yours truly, we're going to go lobster hoop netting Thursday on the Amigo. That's why
Oh.
Doug's telling Michael to go down and wipe it down. He wants a clean boat.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I'll
there
kick
you
him
go.
in the butt, but he's busy right now commercial fishing, Doug. He's down there lift poling perch and sand bass and everything else, having a great time. Any plans for the holidays? Are you going to be home for Christmas?
Yeah, we'll be
or
around.
what?
We'll be around.
Yeah.
We'll be around. Yeah, we got all the kids coming. You know, that's big time for them. So
Yeah, heck
the
yeah.
young-
And then your trout fishing ventures will be before or after Christmas?
some through it.
yeah, oh
Through
yeah.
that.
Oh,
Through that.
because
We'll see if
kids
we
are
can
off
sneak
school?
them out. Yeah, they're out, so we'll
Yeah.
sneak out somewhere. Yeah.
I want to go for
have
sure.
to have to do some intel. Yeah, I'll give you a call.
Yeah.
We'll get a hot scoop going, and we'll lock in some spots and figure it all out, and that'd be fun.
Yeah, you were saying $5 to park at Irvine?
Yeah,
and that's
I'll
it?
have to check on that, folks. Check on that, but that's what it was. The
Drop a
last time
comment
we
if
went.
you know.
Yeah, Irvine Lake, and I remember it was like a public deal now. You know, you park in the lot and you pay for your spot, and of course, and I don't know if you even need. It used to be because it was private. You didn't need the licensing and stuff. But I have that just in case. I wouldn't take any chances. But you know, for kids under 16, you don't have to worry about them anyway.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I would. But check on that. It's been a little while since I've been down there. It's been a few years, so check on the regulations. But it's a neat program that they have. And then all the local parks this time of year, I'm sure they've been putting them in all the places. Don't they put them in Mile Square and a lot of places?
Alondra
Yeah,
and Mile
Alondra. Yeah, they put some
Square
in
and-
Alondra.
Tons of those places. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? You got to wait a day for them to acclimate? Everybody tells
No,
me.
sometimes they'll eat it right. Sometimes they'll eat right away.
Yeah,
too.
and the birds will get them if you wait too long, right?
Oh, yeah, you
Depends on the
got
depth of the lake.
retired people will get them too.
Oh, the old
Yeah.
retired people. Look who's talking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Except you're not retired. You're running around like a chicken with your head cut off with Michael.
Oh, you got a fishing machine right there. You don't have
Yeah.
to worry about that. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, barbecue going over there at Island Fishing Tackle. Hit that like button, Danny, and I deeply appreciate it when you do that and share this video with a friend. You had an exceptional long-range trip this year, also on the American Angler.
it was-
your favorite boat, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's because of Brian.
Yeah.
You know, Brian worked his butt off as a young. He came in at 14 years old, and you know.
Here comes a fish, I think.
Oh, another one.
Whoa, Michael Limon. People are going to get jealous out there. Doug,
Awesome.
look at that. Beautiful. Show those beautiful lips up close to that camera. Let's see. That is a thing of beauty, Michael. Way to go.
Wow.
Man, I'm telling you.
Whacking them, Mike.
And
Good
for all
job.
of you people out there who are concerned, Michael is taking them out there and releasing them into a vat of hot grease. He's making fish tacos out of them. No, he's putting them back. They're swimming away, right?
Yeah.
That's Chad's doing that over at Island Fishing Tackle right now. There's Chad now. I'm telling you, man. Everybody, I just mentioned
He's probably
you, Chad.
telling you to save the fish for the
Oh,
dinner.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad, do you want some fish tacos for tonight? The assembly of the grill took a little longer than expected. Believe me, if I were doing it, it would be next Christmas before it was done. I'm on the 110 now, heading to Island Tackle. Well, Sam said the barbecue was looking fantastic. Oh, he was kidding me, I guess. Huh? Nobody showed up for the barbecue. All right, get over there, Chad. Hurry. Tell Sam.
Fire it up.
Yeah, fire it up, man. Fire it up, baby. I got some guacamole flavored somethings I bought for tonight. I thought, yeah, I don't know what they are. Popcorn. I don't know. I'll show you later. It's weird. All right, what else? Is that it? Have you had enough fun for one night?
You know, yeah, because we got to break in. We've been off for a little bit, and it's hard. You know, let's ease our way back into it again. Then we'll start going 90
Well,
miles
we're
an
not
hour,
going
you
to
know.
get out of here yet because we were talking about the American Angler, and Cue Ball says, love the American Angler. The
You know-
boat's sentimental to me. First time I got my dad on a tuna trip was on the Angler. It was awesome. There's a memory for Cue Ball he'll never forget.
You know, for me, it's a loyalty deal. You know, Brian, from the time he was 14, you know, worked his behind off, and we had a lot of good mentors that were around. You know, the George Mayos, the Takas, and guys that we grew up with, and so did Brian. I mean, Brian, after he left our operation, he went to work with Frank, and so he learned from all the best. He really did, and he picked it up and took it past everybody. You know, so there's not a thing that they do that they don't set the bar on.
Yeah.
And now he's teamed up with Lori Sam's ex, right?
Right.
And she's a doll. She's awesome. But the whole operation from the time you make your call to do your reservations, to the time you get down there, they load the boat for you. Do this, they do that, and I mean it's they don't miss a beat.
Yeah.
It's just perfect.
I kn-
And a lot of the operations are the same.
Yes, yes.
But my loyalty belongs to the guys that busted their behinds and sweat their behinds off for us.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
And he's earned that right from me.
Yeah.
And I would always, as a loyalty factor, it's a reciprocating type deal.
I think it's quite just that you mentioned like the office personnel also, because that's part of the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like
They
the
keep you tuned
Apollo,
with
Lori,
everything.
Jeff's
Right.
wife.
They keep you-
she'll bend over backwards to do
Exactly.
this and that.
And the beauty of that, both those Lories,
yeah.
they were fishermen.
Yeah, right.
They grew up, their fathers. I mean, just, it's been passed down, so it's in their blood. It's not, it's not a girl that's fit. No, these girls can kick your behinds.
Yeah, oh,
in
heck
fishing.
yeah.
So don't, you got to pay attention and listen to them. They know what they're talking about.
It's
So
such a
it's
small
really
world, Danny, because
awesome.
you mentioned her father, Glenn Mueller. And man, I was 14 years old working for Glenn on the Redondo Special.
Yep.
And now here we are, full circle.
Yep.
And it's crazy.
Yep,
What a small world it is.
absolutely.
Yeah. Cue Ball says, not to mention, the boat and program is second to none. Cadillac, all the way on the angler, top notch.
Yeah, absolutely. They've taken it. They keep setting the bar. They don't settle. You're going to walk on, see new equipment, this and that. And used to be where Brian would pull me up in the warehouse and says, "What do you think about this and this?" And I says, "Well, Brian, don't ask me anything. I don't know squat. You've taken it so far past what we ever did. It's not even funny. You reset the bar, and they don't stop. He and Ray, and then Brian put so much pressure on himself. I finally told him, Brian, get off the boat, let Ray run it. And now Ray's at the stage where he's a partner now. But I mean, they don't miss.
I know. And
They're
they don't
dialed
let
in.
up.
They don't let up. They don't miss, and it perpetuates itself because the crew that is weaned under them, they have the same great habits, they have the same mentality, and it just doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
And it's a very competitive world, the long range world, and when those boats are at that level, it shows.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
There were times on that Independence trip where we had such great fishing and everybody was pooped out, and I assume the crews pooped out too.
Oh.
And they're on the PA saying, "Okay, we're running for a new area. Be there at daybreak." And they just don't stop. It's almost like I almost feel like saying, "Guys, you can take a little
We're
break."
good.
Yeah,
We're good.
yeah. I gotta.
My bill is already bad. It's ugly. My wife's gonna kill me.
But they never stop.
Yeah, no, that's
The work ethic's incredible.
yeah, and they have that competitive nature, and that's what we all had.
Yeah, for sure.
When I fish, I don't like I was like that from when I was little. Whether it was trout fishing, bass fishing, anything, I didn't stop. I was just very competitive. That was just one of the things.
Yeah,
I didn't stop.
Yep, 100%.
I mean, I used to get. I remember getting spanked by my dad. Coming, getting up the stairs early in the morning, and I'd get out of the car while it was still dark. Everybody was still sound asleep in the station wagon. I'd come back half an hour later. Okay, I got Dave's limit. And that's when it was like 10.
Yeah.
Because my brother Dave doesn't fish.
Yeah.
Then I'd go out and get another limit. And I go, well, there's Steve's limit. And then I'd say, okay, come back, get Nancy's limit, which 10 fish, right? And my dad goes, knock it off. You're done. Nancy's 2 years old. You're going to get a limit for her? I said, yeah, I got
I get a limit.
okay, I get it now.
Can I get a limit for that
Yeah,
ant
because
there walking
yeah.
by? That's great.
But yeah, no.
Hey, I'm going to do a couple commercials and then we'll wrap this
There you
thing
go.
up. We'll be on the Island Spirit December 20th and 27th. If you'd like to join us, you can book that at VenturaSportFishing.com, 805-676-3474. Get on the El Patron this coming weekend. They'll be heading over to Catalina Island, bit a little signal on white sea bass. Lots of squid over there. They've had some great fishing. www.longbeachsportfishing.org to get on the El Patron. Hit that like button, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel, and I'll be back in the morning with the morning briefing. Well, what can I say? It's so good to see you.
You know,
in
Phil-
this beautiful country of ours.
Absolutely. I do want to mention one thing. You
Yeah.
remember my buddy Joe Miller, who
Yeah.
invented the Miller nut? He recently passed away. I talked.
Aw.
And, I just
Oh, I'm
want to
sorry
do a
to hear
shout
that.
out to his nephew and all of them back there.
Who sends
he
us
was
hats and everything
yes,
all the time.
Yes, wonderful man.
Yeah.
Wonderful man. I
We
love
are
Joe.
so
and,
sorry.
Yeah, and it's just some of these icons, and it just makes me think about we could maybe next week or whatever. I'm going to get a list of guys that were, what they did for all of
Contributions
us.
they made.
Contributions, and there's guys, while they're still alive, maybe like Taka, maybe if we can get him to have his sons drag him in here or something.
Yeah.
They're loaded with so much knowledge.
Or go over to a
and I owe
store.
so much. Yeah, we could
Yeah.
do that too. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
an Orange County. He's just straight up the street from you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely have to do that because
100%.
these guys are all icons. I mean, all the people that helped out. I just ran into one of the kids at school. He's a wide receiver at San Pedro High. Made this wonderful catch. His last name is Redlow. I says, "Were you related to Frank Redlow?" He says, "His grandpa." I says,
Oh, wow.
They don't get any better than Frank.
Right.
But there's a whole group of guys that I owe so much to and that the industry owes so much to. I think little by little I want to do tributes while they're alive too.
Yeah, right.
Because
I mean, I hate to say that,
we
but-
couldn't have done it with any of these guys.
Yeah.
Without these guys.
Right.
100%.
100%.
So that's important. And it's not just me, but they did it for our entire fleet down here in Southern California. So it elevated our entire industry. So they're very impactful.
Yeah, 100%. Sam De La Torre, that's a great idea. There are so many guys that need to be interviewed and showcased.
Absolutely, Sam. You're right.
Yeah, right on, Sam.
Absolutely.
And I hate to say this, but I'm being truthful now. Some of the older guys, especially, you can throw us in that category for that matter. They're going to be gone, and the stories will go. I wish I would have sat down with Eddie McCune for a 4-hour interview before he
Absolutely.
went on.
Absolutely.
That would have been great.
Yeah, and Sam as a tackle guy, I can remember when Russ came to me with the first Spectra, and everybody slammed it. And I questioned it a little bit, but I saw some utility for it for backing and this and that. And as it was, look at what Spectra's done for this industry worldwide.
Yeah.
Not just Lear, worldwide.
Yeah.
And we credit guys like Russ Iser.
Yep.
These guys, were way, way beyond most capacities for most normal fishermen.
Sure. One of the, sometimes I say to myself, oh, okay, we're doing this dopey fishing podcast. What impact could it possibly make? And then you see Michael and you see kids fishing. You see the stuff all go to Mexico. But, one thing that stuck with me was before Eddie Leland passed away, we did a lot of stuff. And Eddie was really getting pretty sick with cancer. And he was sitting with Tom Durr outside. And they were talking. And it was so golden. I looked at him. I go, guys, I'm going to get my camera. And he goes, yeah, do it. So with that as the background, Eddie's kids, his daughters, have told me that they go back and they get to hear their father's voice and see their father on all those podcasts. I can go to my grave now thinking that I made some contribution because, that is a beautiful
absolutely.
thing.
Something, that's a great idea, Phil, because I have tapings of all the shows that Russ and Iser did when he launched Spiderwire.
Yeah.
And I can remember going down to Dallas to launch it.
Yeah.
And 90% of the people in this country say, we'll never use that stuff. Blah,
Yeah.
blah. It cuts your finger, it does this, it does that. And I'm going to put it back in their face, that he changed fishing forever from that. And it was a little old guy here in Gardena that had his boat here and had enough faith to trust me into that. And then once I got into it and once he showed me the utility for it, look at what it's done for
I
us.
know. It's been amazing.
Look at what it's done for fishing worldwide
Yep.
from our Russ Iser.
100%.
So you're right. I think that would be a good angle to go at because there's so many people here, tackle shop guys that have had impacts, on our fishing. Rods, reels, you name it. And I think it has to do with in Southern California, you got aerospace, you got Hollywood. Our fishermen don't settle. They keep innovating. I had guys like Corky Okoye that would build special things for, because he was a machinist, and,
Yeah.
he had that mindset. Just the great fishermen that we've been around. We're just blessed to be around all these guys. But yeah, I'll start writing that down. But Phil, it's huge.
Yeah, there's a
it's
guy.
not us. I'm thankful to be around guys like
Yeah.
that.
Ken, thanks for joining us tonight. Ken says SoCal Fishing Hall of Fame. It exists, he says.
Oh, absolutely.
People like
There's no
Don
doubt.
Brockman, Frank LaPreste.
Absolutely.
On and on and on. And on. I saw
Absolutely.
Frank down there before we left on our
Yeah.
film.
Yeah,
Really good to see him.
We call him, Frank and I joke around. We call him the Big Ragu.
Yeah. Oh. Frank is something else. Man.
Yeah,
He's another guy I worked
but
for
you
when
know,
he ran
all
the
those
searcher.
guys, yeah, everybody, they took long range fishing to a different level.
Totally.
And they changed the whole game.
They did.
My hats off to all these guys. And we're blessed to be around them.
Yep.
We really were.
Stay tuned. 6 o'clock live from Island Fishing Tackle. At least that's the plan. I'm going to walk over there and let Danny wish you a happy holiday. And
folks.
Danny, I'll let you sign off, my friend.
Yeah, we may make another one before Christmas.
I think
but
so.
you know what? Have a happy holiday. Hope you choked your turkey down plenty fine for Thanksgiving. And we'll look forward to talking whenever our next show is.
Yep, probably next Monday.
So save up your questions and shoot them to us at the next round.
All right,
We'll
perfect.
see you then.
And we'll show you, just before we sign off, some of the reels, and there's tackle boxes full and rods going to Mexico, and the whole outer room, and a warehouse in Cerritos all full. Danny,
Awesome.
always great, my friend.
Thank you, Phil.
Happy
Thank
holidays.
you out there, folks.
God bless
You bet.
everybody.